Okay. So we are going to experiment in this week that we and the field are not different. We are the field. So the moment you start understanding that you are the field, then you are the one who's gifting yourself everything you want. Right? It's as simple as that. Now, we think that we are so limited. We think that whatever we are with respect to our name, our environment, and who we are, and we are going to die, and then I don't know who I'll be later, or I don't know anything other than me as what I am right now. Right? That is actually minuscule of what you are. So the moment you start the Tesla guy, he said, if you want to understand this world, you need to start looking at the world in terms of energy only. Because energy cannot be contained. It can be contained, of course, but it's flowing everywhere. It is so much flowing that you are a blur, dense energy, that's all. So there is a way, there is also possible that you make all your energy particles go a little bit away, like as if you're stretching yourself and width-wise you're increasing, but also you're becoming dull and you're becoming little hazy, and then slowly you will vanish. You're able to get what I'm trying to say? You're becoming expanding, and that means you're becoming very transparent slowly, and then you will vanish. One atom of you is somewhere there, another there, everywhere. It's all there. So you have vanished into this field, but you're still there, right? The same way, you concentrate, gather, then you appear from nowhere, from the thin air. It's possible. So in future, probably your travel could be disintegrate, go somewhere else and concentrate yourself. Possible, right? Only that you should concentrate back to yourself. What if you become someone else?
You mean we must imagine, is it? We must imagine, is it? Because we have our physical body.
Yeah, physical body is nothing but your concentrated energy. I will give an example. You have water. Now, if you keep the water inside the refrigerator, it becomes ice cubes, solid. Now, if you heat it, it becomes water. If you continue to heat it, it becomes air. Correct? So different states it taking the same thing, which is water. It's becoming more denser, then it becomes solid. And the more it becomes loose, it becomes water. Even more loose, it becomes air. That is it, you know, steam, it goes out. Now, when the steam is going out, will you ask, where is water? Where is the ice cube, which is solid? Camphor, take example of camphor. You burn it and it becomes steam and goes away, right? And when you condense the steam, it becomes water droplets. You put it in the refrigerator, it becomes more condensed and it becomes ice cubes. So everything can change its state. It's just a state change. The same way when we die, we're changing our states. And we become condensed matter and we call that next life. It's just the same. Your process is different. It requires some more people to cry when we change our state. So it's just the same. But the thing is, we do not understand this feeling of me being in different states in the body. And that is what makes us not to believe in the energy part. We are all energy only. which is a condensed energy. So as per Einstein, E is equal to, there's a formula, right? Theory of relativity. E is equal to mc square. E is energy. M is mass. Mass is, we all have mass. The dense physical matter has mass. There is a c square, which is a constant, leave that right now. But what that equal to mark is telling you, equal to symbol is telling, energy is nothing but mass. Simple, right? Mass is nothing but energy. And what are we? We are mass. Mass is weight. Mass is something which you can touch, which has a weight. Physical reality is equal to energy. So what they say is, when you are having a mass, physical reality, it is the energy waiting to be released. You got it? So the body, we call that as potential energy. Potential means something which is contained inside. Think about the reservoir of water. It is very, very strong. It's a river which you are holding. It has so much of power. Right? That reservoir, if you break the wall, what happens? Can you imagine how the river can go and what can happen? What energy can come out of that reservoir, right? So the reservoir is the potential energy, which is like waiting, which is not moving, but it is being it's been held by something, a container. When you release it, correct. When you release it, moving energy comes, which is kinetic energy. Now, we are the potential energy. That is why we say, oh, she has a lot of potential. What does that tell you? She is too good, but she's not using, right? We have the potential, which is yet to be used. So all of this are so much energy. They say that an average height human being has 7 into 8 to the power of 10 or 18 or something like that joules of energy. That's what they say scientifically. You know, it just doesn't make any sense for us. We look at it like number with so many zeros. You know, it is equal to 30 hydrogen bomb. Now, if you are able to explode yourself, then the mass will release the energy, right? If you explode yourself, that potential energy will explode. That is equal to 30 hydrogen bombs. That much energy is inside an average human being. Now, if you have so much of energy, what are we doing? Can we flow that energy in a very regulated way, not like exploding ourselves? We do explode when we are angry, don't we? And then how the heat goes out, have you seen it? And in terms of heat energy, it goes. But energy can be different, right? Like electrical energy is not necessarily heat. It can give you vibrations in your body, maybe. Love energy is different. Every energy has a different feel. Now, this potential energy, what we have, is it possible for us to channelize it in a different way that you can make anything happen? Because for anything to happen in this world, we need fuel, and that is energy. That's the law of this physical world. So constantly human beings are searching for different energies. Heat energy, light energy, solar energy, renewable energy, all kinds of energies we are trying to find out. But we, each one of us, are massive amount of energy. That means you are the field. You are the person who has the potential. You are everything. It's just that we don't know how to use it. We just need to figure out how we use what energy we have. Right? So, is there any way that I can influence the energy, what I have, and I can influence the energy I'm inside? Meaning, let's talk about briefly about higher self. Do you all know what is higher self? We have heard, right? Many times we have heard about higher self, etc. Higher self is probably that part which doesn't have my name. Higher self is one which is eternal. Ishanye is not eternal. I am the limited version of my higher self. Now, where is this higher self? This higher self is submerged in the field. This higher self is not different than the field. Right? And where is this field? This field is all around us, including the source, the creator, or whatever we call. Even that is part of it, right? It is like one small little droplet submerging in the sea. And you can't figure out where is this higher self? Where is Navina? Where is the source? Where is the field? Everything is merged. As this field condenses, it becomes Navina. Now, there is some amount of rule there also. The source wants to condense and becomes Navina, but it cannot directly do that. It has to go via the higher self. So you are here, physical body. You have subconscious mind. No, you have conscious mind. After that, you have subconscious mind. After that, you have unconscious mind. After that, you have higher self. After that, you have collective consciousness, whatever you call it. And that is inside the source or the field of potentiality. So everything is actually, it's a gradient of the frequency of thoughts. It's a gradient, basically. The more it becomes condensed, it becomes a physical reality. Now, you're only thinking from the aspect of body. That's not true. Physical reality can also be our situation where we are in. That is also physical reality. That also has its own underlying dynamics, and then even more higher reasons, like a higher self kind of higher reasons or bigger story of it, why it happened, and then it reaches with the source where everything is fine, nothing is right or wrong. Right? So if this fingertip feels I am so different, I am just index fingertip, but it doesn't understand, let's assume it's connected to this whole body. That's how we are. We are this fingertip. This higher self is the body. And where it is, it's in this air. So you're no different than the air, actually. But we think we separate ourselves because human tendency is to separate ourselves from others. I am different. That's the first thing we talk. Nobody understands me because I'm different. That's the duality. Duality is an illusion. We are all one, actually. But it's just not possible to feel that. It's just not possible to feel it at all. At least we have to build our own belief systems and coexist with duality. Whenever we want, we manifest by using that we are all are one. And yet we have to live with the duality. I think that's the best in what we can do. So today's experiment is somewhat like that, where we are trying to figure out that I can influence everything around me because everything in this physical world is connected to every other thing in the physical world. So the only reality in this world is the field. And I, whatever I'm thinking, I is an illusion because I am connected to the whole world, field. It is something like, if I'm telling the tip of the index finger that you are separate from your body is the illusion. Actually, you belong to the body. And since the body is a vibrating energy, it can disintegrate, dissolve in the energy outside. And so your tip of the index finger is actually the source. And the only thing which is real is the field. That's exactly the Einstein says. The reality, what you're thinking is an illusion. And he says, in fact, it's a continuous illusion. Now, why am I feeling different? Why do I feel that I'm different than Navina? Why can't I feel that I am Navina? Sorry, I'm using Navina as an example for everything. Because the thing is, my consciousness is vibrating differently, her consciousness is vibrating differently. And all of her consciousness is vibrating at certain place or certain way, similar. That is why we are all together today discussing something. Right? Now, example, let's take a tuning fork, many tuning fork. And if not many people know, tuning fork are calibrated to have a particular sound, ding sound. Not all tuning forks will make the same sound, okay? They all have different sound. They're calibrated with a material to make different sounds. Now, if you have kept a lot of tuning forks in a room, let's say, and one tuning fork, you hit it, make it ding, the similar sound, similar frequency forks will start now vibrating. So after some time, you will hear a huge ding sound. But only those which are of the same frequency will start vibrating. They can influence them of the same frequency and make the sound. Got it? Everybody understood this fact. What does that mean? The frequency I am in, I can influence same frequency outside. If you're sad, you will only hear sadness from outside world, same frequency. Now you want something amazing as part of your manifestation. You need to raise to that frequency so that you can get it. Because you have to vibrate with the same frequency to get that. Now, yesterday, David Fraser and all that, I mean, the last time when we did the experiment, the time we talked about rain, you already started vibrating in that. The time you started thinking about butterflies, you already started vibrating in that. Right? So somewhere, a bit of you will vibrate there and vibrate something else, and it's intermittently vibrating, and whenever you vibrate, you see that. Whenever you vibrate, keep on seeing those things. That's all about is a manifestation. And the same way, or whatever nonsense we are having in our life too, it's the same principle, same principle everywhere. So when something which is really not good going on in your life, what do? You want to break that frequency. So can you hear a music? Or can you go for a walk, play with a child, play with a pet? Or, just go buy a bouquet of flowers, be with the flowers, water the flowers, do something which will break that frequency. Eat sweets, something, break it. I'm not telling you break into an awesome, great, happy frequency. Break somehow, whatever you do it, God knows. You want to sleep, you can do that. But break it. The moment you break it, that frequency changes. Next question, what else? What other frequency I will get next? Something better, choose, right? There are so many things. You can watch a fantastic movie in a Netflix. That will definitely put you in a different frequency. Right? So it's all about frequency, meaning it's all about energy. Now, we all are vibrating so fast, slightly lesser than the light, speed of the light. And that is why we can't see ourselves vibrating. Otherwise, you will see like, the bees near the beehive happening. It's like that. We are like that. Every particle of us is like that. Right? But it's happening so fast that it looks like when you're flying in the aircraft, do you feel like as if you're slowly, pictures are moving, that you're able to see that it feels as if you entered into a room and then nothing happened. You all sat in the room and after some 1 hour, you went out of the room, right? You can even drink nicely the coffee, tea. If you're driving in a car, what do you say? Can I just slow down a bit? I want to drink. Why? The speed will make you feel that it's stagnant because human beings cannot perceive that speed. The same thing, our particles or every part of my body is vibrating so fast that nobody can see and feel it as if it's solid. If it slows down a little bit, and if the attraction between the two particles become loose, then you will vanish. You can aaram se vanish. Okay, that's very interesting. So we realized that we can easily influence people. Okay, you can call that motivation or demotivation, whatever you want. It is so easy actually to make a person or to break a person. Just by talking to them, you just need to be very friendly with them and empathize with them, and then they are in your bag. And then you tell them anything you want and they will listen to you. You suddenly become a well-wisher of them and then they will listen to you, they will do it. So that's how you change the reality. A person who is understanding you, who's an observer outside, can clearly make out what game you're playing. Right? But it's all right. We are not doing anything bad. We are trying to change the environment around us, maybe for better for us. And also that will, if it is good for us, I'm sure it's good for everyone else outside too, right? Because we're all one, we're all same. So today's, there's a small story which Pam has written there. There is this friend of hers who keeps going to a church or something there, and somebody there tells, like a guru kind of a guy says that, you can write whatever you want and put it to the God or something like that, and then you will get it. So this lady writes a huge list where she says, I want to go to Mexico and, chill out in the pool, near the pool, and, get whatever kind of dresses and do this, do that, everything. And she writes and she says, I've written a lot. I don't think I get this. It looks like a beautiful story for me. Then he says, you're not vibrating in that you're not being that. You have to be, first of all. You want to be rich, then you have to be like a rich person. The richness is not out there somewhere and you're separately for you. It is, you have to act, think, be like a rich person. That's what he says. And then She comes out and she thinks that, okay, how do I be like a rich person? She goes to a grocery shop. She always buy bare minimum, whatever she wants. Okay. Then she okay, what a rich person would buy. Then she looks at it there and she sees olives with almonds stuffed. And she thinks that I think a rich person will buy this, and she will buy that day. And she calls her friend and she says that a friend would have a pool in near her, I mean, in that apartment or whatever. So she says, I'll come over and you give wine and we both have wine and we will eat these olives with almonds and we act like we are rich. And we even think about what do we do when we go to Mexico for a holiday. So she says it's all bullshit. What is that? I'm not rich. It makes me more sad, she says. She says, no, it's all right. We'll just do it today because this guy has told. And so they decide to just do there and they start having fun actually. They make up this awesome thing and she says that I want to get flowers from all men in Mexico and kind of a thing. A lot of things they'll make it up and they'll have a beautiful time. And then both of them decide that, hey, in fact, we should go just book a travel for Mexico and see. We don't have to pay. Let's just go book it. And then what happens, we'll see. So they do that. They'll go to a travel agent and they'll book for a trip. And then after one day, that friend calls up and says, you know what? I was talking to my mother. My mother said she will give money for the travel. And actually, I have money now to travel. Now, this one thinks, oh shit, I don't have any money now. What do I do? So she decides to go to her mom's place and casually she'll tell her, my friend's mother has given. So her mother says, okay, what will you do? I'm not giving you, no, what will you do now? Your friend will go away. So she said, okay, this is not working somehow. And the mother says, okay, fine, whatever. Can you just get the post in the post box? There is some post you have to get it. So she goes to the post box, collects all the posts, and when she's walking back, she sees that there's a letter addressed to her. And it's been 15 years she's moved away from mother's place. So she wondered who is actually sending here. And she opens up that. There's a small little letter written by her roommate once upon a time when she was studying, some 15, 20 years back. And what happened was these two were roommates and they took up a place and they furnished and they did all of it. And then this lady got the job, so she moved out, leaving all the furniture and everything there. And that other girl stayed there for some more time and then she got married and she set up her own house. At that time, she sold all of these furnitures and everything, and that got her good amount of money. She felt it's not fair that she takes the whole money because both of them did. So she did half of it and she sent a check for her. And that check, she looks at it, oh my God, here is my Mexico trip. Okay. And then both the friends will go to Mexico. And then they go there and everybody is giving flower to the friend. She's thinking, my goodness, no one is caring for me. It's like, who said that? Like Trupti, what do? I need to see a butterfly and one butterfly flies. So she says, please just make me feel that I'm cared for. Somebody please come and do something for me that I should be cared for. Then they're dining in the hotel and so this waiter comes and says, someone has gifted you something, madam. Take this. And you know what they hand over her? Olives with stuffed almonds. So this is the effect of what you can think, what you can influence your own environment, right? So how it plays out is going to be something amazing, interesting life. Somebody can make a movie out of your life there. But who actually makes a movie? You yourself will make the movie. You can make it very interesting. You can make it very boring, and yet you have everything. It's choice. It's all choice. And it's how we want to look at it. There are umpteen number of experiences, especially when we have started doing these experiments, I am observing so many such things, you know. It's like I was repeatedly going to the bank. In fact, I went 3-4 days continuously every day. Why? Because internet banking I wanted to enable for my daughter. And every day I go to the same counter. There was counter number 2. And that lady always looks like world is very difficult place and I'm doing a very tough job. And she has so much problem with the software and thing. She will ask here, she'll ask there. And we always get technical error in the mobile. And she says, ma'am, can you come tomorrow? Because it's locked for so many hours. We go back and we come back. Every time I've noticed that the next to her, there is another cubicle kind of a thing. There's a lady who is like singing to herself and then, you know, making two people together. She's calling and she's finishing off. And she's like, look at this next lady. And she just says something in her language and something like that. She's going on beautifully well. This time we went there. She said, she smiled at us and she said, oh, you come today also. And she said, okay, I'll just do something for you. If it doesn't work, from back end, I will go change this. Are you okay with that? This option that other lady never gave us, because she never saw that option. She saw life is only this way, right? Now this lady is very nicely singing a song. She took the mobile, she did it, everything. And then in no time, in just 3 minutes, we are done. Mobile also worked very well. OTP came very fast. This is how we influence. And 4 days we are looking at her every day and we think that, oh, she's singing a song. Okay, that's what it is. Why we didn't go there? You know, this is how we are. We choose what we want. We also want to feel very, I've done a lot of things for my daughter. You know, every day I went there. Probably, you know, right? We all want to become heroes and heroines. That also is there. We have to satisfy that part also. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm observing so much that we can make things happen for ourselves just by wishing, just by being aware of, right? Just by being aware of, we can influence our own life because we are higher self. We are the potential field and we have energy. We are containing the energy. So just believe yourself that you are that energy. You are actually asking for, you are that. You are that actually. And it's like, let me move my wand and I get it. Try that. It's so nice to be in this magical world and trying the wand. And then seeing that, hey, not bad, I did this and it worked. Okay, you feel like telling everybody, but people might call you mad, so maybe it's better to keep quiet and keep using your wand. Okay, got it? Now, one small little experiment we will do now to feel the energy, that you are energy, basically, okay? So you have this hand, keep your hand like this. Now, either you can do this way or you can clap it once. The moment you do that, you'll feel here something, clapping or energy. You'll basically feel the energy. And the closer you come, you know, you can do like this also, as if you're going to clap like that. And then hold it there, start feeling that. And slowly turn it like this, like an X, make an X near your wrist. Near the wrist. Wrist has a lot of energy points. Feel that energy there. You know, you lift it up a little bit, it becomes cooler. You bring it down, it becomes a little warmer. And you can just shift your wrist like this and you move the energy. Because wrist has a lot of acupuncture points. If nothing, you can do this also. And then the texture of your energy, you can feel it. Is it like grrr kind of a thing, or heat, or it's like wet, sweaty? All those are different part of your energy feeling. You can use this energy, create that energy kind of a thing, and then you imagine that I'm throwing this ball to somebody. And this ball will do something. All of it are exactly like using a magic wand. And it does work. It definitely works. Now, what's working is not exactly your energy, your intent and the thought, which uses this energy to influence everything else. You need something to flow. Your thought has to flow using something, and that something is the energy. Got it? Now, experiment number 3.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes, Neha.
This ball of energy we create, yes, I can feel the energy and all of that. So then I put my intent in that ball and then throw it in the air, right?
Yes, of course. While you're making the ball itself, you would have put the intent. You wouldn't have noticed. It's just the what intent you put. You would have always be putting some intent. Whatever your thoughts, they are intent. But if you concentrate a little more, focused thought is what is going to materialize. When you have an agenda, that becomes a focused thought. Okay? Now, how much focused it is, what you're going to do an experiment, the experiment number 3. Now, I will share a video for you because a lot of people have done this experiment in the YouTube. Okay? Because it's slightly, do I call it difficult? If you have a material, it's easy. If you don't have the material, then you'll have to search for the material and get it done. There are 2 ways of doing it. One is, what Pam has told in a book is using the hanger. Hanger is a metal, right? So metal, you can unwind it and make it like a straight wire, basically. But if you have a straight wire, please use that. You open the hanger fully, make it like a L shape. Okay? A L shape. And the small part of the L shape, you insert a straw. Okay, now I've made it. I'll show. See this? Do you see this? Straw I have put, and I have kept the long line. Do you see the long line?
Yeah.
This is a long line, and this is a straw. Okay, so I have opened it. So you make 2 of those. Why do you put straw? Because this keeps moving very easily. And you hold the straw like this. You see this?
This is like a dowsing rod, Isha.
What is that?
Dowsing rod, which will cross like this. Is that the thing?
Yeah. A lot of people use it for dowsing. A lot of people use it for a lot of things. Okay. Now this is a material which is existing in your environment now. Now that you have bent it, you have made it like this. This is a material which is existing in your environment now, right? And you're holding it. And you should be, what she says is, you should be able to influence this with your thoughts. So she says, first make it straight. Like, because it's just dangling a lot. Make it straight like this. And then think about something really sad. Then they cross each other, see? Why they cross? Because your aura, your energy field is shrinking. So it crosses. Whereas you want to think something really happy. It expands, right? So let us see. See, it went all around me. Okay, so it's a beautiful thing because I kept experimenting yesterday. I had put that, what do you call that, straw so tight that I was not allowing it to move easily. And I thought that, okay, nothing is happening. So make it very easy movement, and then it tells you that how much energy you are actually putting it out. Okay, and this, a lot of people use it in various way. You can just, like how she said, dowsing, people use it to get to know yes or no. The idea yes or no, because you already know your answer, you are the higher self and you know it. So this will tell you like good for you, bad for you kind of a thing. Okay. You can also understand if there is anything else which is affecting your space, because you are not the only person here. No, you have 100 people in your house and in the streets, and everybody's thoughts also should be affecting you, right? There could be, this is my younger one said, the moment I was trying to do this, oh my God, this is the one they use it to see if spirits are inside the room. Of course, that's also, isn't it? Anything. And another very easy way of doing is using the pendulum. But you have to make, if yes is clockwise, no is anti-clockwise, or something like that, you have to first have an idea. How do you get the idea? You know you're a girl, right? Keep the pendulum, you say, I'm a girl. Then whatever it does, that is yes for you. And you say, I'm a boy. Whatever it does, that is no for you. Basically, you are influencing the field of potentiality with your thoughts and with your frequencies. Okay.
So Isha, so we should be in a neutral mind when we are asking a question.
Yeah.
Or thoughts, whatever if I think yes and I want that answer to be that influence.
You know how you can be neutral? Just concentrate on these two wires. Then you don't have any emotions towards them.
I didn't get you.
How can you be neutral?
That's
In a moment, what is, how do you imagine neutral?
So there will be some part of it which is wanting the answer to be yes or no.
So how to become neutral?
When you focus on something else rather than
that something else might induce a happy or a sad moment for you. So the best thing to be neutral, you know what? Just to observe something, this thing, what emotion you have towards these wires? No emotion. So this is neutral. So look at these wires and you say, I'll wait for the wires to just stand straight. And you wait. Calm yourself down and wait for the wires. You're not thinking about anything else. You're only observing the wire. You will become neutral immediately. Then you look ahead and think something which is very sad for you. Then you cringe. And I was thinking certain few things were sad for me. But I realized my deep down, I have dealt with it. It's no more sad for me. It's so beautiful to know all of that, you know, using these wires. So yesterday, the whole day, I was walking around with these wires. I was making everybody hold the wire and do it. It worked beautifully well with children, but not so well with my husband. I said, like, too bad. You're not even in touch with the emotions. Anyway, that's different. But what I'm saying is, it's very interesting. And the moment when I thought about my cat, oh my God, it's like opening up so much wide. That's the beautiful love energy, because you don't have any expectation from a cat. Right? Whereas even when you're thinking about your children, it's not a pure love. There are so many things are there in that. So it's such a beautiful feeling, I can't tell you. Now you take those and look at those flowers. When you're talking to those flowers, maybe it'll tell what the flower is feeling. Because everyone else is also influencing your field of potentiality. all you have to do is, okay, I want to test what Pala is thinking now. And I ask questions with Pala. And this one will go yes or no. Okay, Pala is feeling sad, Pala is feeling happy. You know, something like that, right? So there is no end to how you can use this. There
Or
is
making a decision, like making a decision, will this help?
decision, I suggest that you always have to ask the question like this. If I make this decision, how will I feel? If I make that decision, how will I feel? And make a informed decision.
Means?
Means do not ever ask a card. Shall I go tomorrow? Okay, the card said, yes, I'm going. No. You have to make a choice with the help of the cards or predictions and everything. Because you can make a difference to your life. I don't want one card to decide for me, but I want them to tell me if I make this decision, what will happen to me or how it will be for me. Now I'll take a call. I'll take a call.
Isha, when you said that card shouldn't, but when the card gives some answer, won't I be get influenced by it? I mean, somehow, even if I have an informed something, like.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You were confused. Anyhow,
Right.
you will get influenced by something only and make the decision, right?
Right.
Try
True.
to make a better decision, because
Right.
remember, you are the one who's influencing everything around you,
Yes.
including your choices.
Yeah, true.
So let that be a good influence.
Yeah.
Then you move your energy, potential energy, and make it happen in that way, beautiful way.
Right. Got it. Thank you so much, Isha. Yeah.
Right?
Isha, the Reiki energy healing and those healings is also using the potential energy, is it?
Everything in this world is this.
Mm.
If you're not doing any Reiki, nothing, you're just being Pala, getting up in the morning, cooking. Do you think you're only doing that and sleeping? No, Pala. You're influencing a lot of things just by your emotions and thoughts and everything. So it's so beautiful when you start feeling that I am so powerful. So this entire week, we are going to write down. One, you all can make this and have fun in this. Second thing is how you influenced the field, because you are the field.
They use this when they want to look for water underground.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Because a friend of mine showed us that, they
You're
check.
right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because everything is frequency, right, Alka?
Yeah.
Water also has a frequency. And
100%.
the intent this guy puts is, I am finding the water, I am finding the water.
Uh-huh.
So then you're making that frequency. In fact, they wash their hands with water and they hold it.
Yes.
So it's like matching with that frequency.
It was so magical, I tell you. And they found the water and then they put the borehole over there only.
I have seen a person who removed his gold chain, put it on a like a stick like this, and he kept going around. Wherever there is water, it just goes on like that.
Started swinging.
Because scientifically, there is no way you can find out where there's good water source. You know that? There's no way. It's a hit or miss thing when you are drilling groundwater.
Groundwater, yes.
And so you can use this in several ways. One friend, a contact, let's say this way, of mine, he had come home and he was finding out what do you call this? What do you call that?
I know the geothermal lines.
Geothermal lines which pass through the earth actually, and wherever they are, there's so heavy energy that if you have a building over there, nothing will work and kind of a thing.
You have to put copper strings over there.
And he was holding exactly something like this. Exactly like this he was holding, okay? And he was doing that does, and then he was putting some metal in some kind of a metal mix of many metals in a place where to neutralize that line. But you know what? There's one most easiest thing to neutralize the line. Not neutralize. Turn the line and put it back to wherever it is coming from. You have to put the conch, Shankha. This will turn it and put it back. You just need to put there because the kind of metal mix what he was putting, he said some 30,000, 35,000, whatever he said. This conch I can buy it for 8 rupees. And you just put it there and then it's amazing. It will clear your energy.
Wow.
Okay. So I always keep a conch as a paperweight. So several such things are there. And you can all use it in many, we use pendulums to see which chakras are blocked because they run in opposite way. And many things, and finally you don't need anything. When you start realizing how you're influencing the environment, best example, best thing I'll tell you, when you're sitting there in the house, there are a lot of people they've come home. Now just think in your mind something very happy and see how people respond to you. Same way, think very sad and see how people will respond. So this whole week, what you're going to experiment is how your thoughts are going to influence your environment. Right?
Right.
And if you want something beautiful, identify what is the frequency of that and try to raise it to that level and get that exact thing to come to you. Now, how do I know what is the frequency of that? When you think about it, what it invokes in you emotionally is the frequency. Okay? So experiment this. So what is the experiment? Influencing the environment and seeing how exactly they responded as per your thoughts. Anything beyond this is extra experiment which you're going to do it with enthusiasm. Okay?
So, Isha, we will think in our mind and we observe how it is influencing us.
You have to influence your environment. Okay?
I'm not
It can
getting
be
the-
anything. It can be anything. Like, for example, people have come home and then you are sitting with them and suddenly you specifically with intention think something really sad. And then you see how people will start talking only about things about sadness, something which made them sad, etc. Specifically just to test, think something very happy for you. Not for them or anything. Some event which was very happy for you, which happened in your life. Think about that and immediately how the energy changes. How they respond. This is one thing. Second thing is, when you know this one usually I keep doing, when you're not getting the OTP or something is delaying, imagine there is the OTP which is generated, but in between there are multiple blocks and you're removing one block after the other, one block after the other, and then the OTP will reach you. So these are all how you influence by either thinking about it or by visualizing it. But you have to be fully there. You're like doubting and then, as I'm doing it, let me see. No, then it won't happen. You're not influencing because you're already doubting means you're not spreading that energy. And you're walking in a crowd. You don't want anybody to see. Just make yourself, I'm invisible. Nobody can see me now. So you just go around, nobody will watch. Or you want the whole world to notice you. Then you think that I am expanding my energy. You know, that can be very nicely felt here. It'll like widen, and this whole thing will widen like that. The more you expand yourself, okay? And how much you're expanding also you can see. You can walk like that, like that, like that, like that. After some 12 feet or something, it will become very neutral. It won't be like that wide. And you're standing there and I'm pushing my energy even more, then it even more goes wide, wide, wide like that. Because I've done all of these experiment with that person who was trying to see that geo some line. He was telling me that I'll see how wide is your aura. I said, okay, fine. And I'm just pushing it so wide that he at one point said, I'll have to go outside your house. Can you stop this? It's like that. It's so easy to experiment this. So I suggest that all of you maybe go from the hardware shop, buy some wires like this and 2 straws, maybe go to McDonald's, buy a juice and get 2 straws and then do it. It's so nice and interesting. Okay. So I'm going to put what's next
What is the purpose of the straw, Isha?
So that it makes the wire move. It should move, no, left, right, like this. It's moving inside the straw. If I hold the wire like this, how it can move? It cannot move. So inside the straw, it is like this. No, it's a big straw.
It shouldn't be, so that's why you told, it shouldn't be tight.
Yeah, so you hold the straw, then the wires can move easily.
Yeah.
So do you program it before or you just made it and you started working with it?
I just made it and then my thoughts are actually making it move.
Okay, got it.
Because that is also is in the same field as you. And that is also energy, which is condensed to be a wire. You are condensed to be a human being. So your thoughts and everything can influence everything around you. You got it? You know, what we are doing, why we are doing all this is to make ourselves really powerful part of the field. That's all about these experiments. Trust me, you may be thinking that I don't know whether I'm changing, but it's interesting. So let me just, that's enough without you knowing you're changing. Right? Beautiful. Navina, your question and then we're closing the meeting.
Yeah, so I'll share something interesting what happened now. You know, in my mind, you said hanger, wires, and I was thinking, oh, where to buy the, you know, I was just thinking, and suddenly you answered, you can buy it from the hardware shop, you can buy the straws there. I mean, just see, I wanted to share, just instantly, I was just thinking, and I got all the answers, you know. It is this. And one more incident I'll just like to share, just relating to this. You know, one day I was just thinking, one uncle in an apartment just chant some mantra in the morning. This is one single uncle. And suddenly in the morning I was cooking. I said, long back, like 2-3 days have gone, I've not heard it. And just from the moment I thought, and immediately within a minute, I started hearing that uncle's chants. This is how we influence. You know, you said about influencing, like it actually happened.
And by the way, the mantras also, you don't know what frequency they are, right?
Right.
There are so many such things in this world. So if you're thinking, if you're a very logical person, you'll think that all it is bullshit, then only bullshit you'll get. No problem, please take it.
Isha, we can use pendulum also if you have.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can do with your pendulum too. Okay. Try, and you're going to again discuss with all of us next week how much you influence the whole world. That's wonderful. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much, Isha. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much, Isha. This is an
Thank you.
Can I share my experience?
so much learning.
Yeah. Let's
It
meet
was
next
so
week.
beautiful.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Isha, can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I was
Done,
talking
Yvonne.
about that show. Okay. Now that show was supposed to, the last day of the show was the 4th of June. And all the tickets in the lesser categories were sold. It is a very, very expensive show.
Is it Mowgli as Mughal Azam?
No, that is this is that Sound of Music. The Broadway has come here, no?
Beautiful.
So in that Nita Ambani Cultural Center, the tickets are already 2,200, 4,000 and something, and the categories that were available were even more expensive. These were all sold out. So then I was just looking at Book My Show, and the show is extended up to the 18th of June now. So immediately I looked if it is available. So they had just opened it. So it was available in the 2,200 or 4,000 category as against 8 and 10 and 15, whatever. So I immediately called my husband and I told him the show is extended and these categories are available. But if you won't do it now, it's not going to happen again. It will be sold out. So he started laughing. He said, "You're really desperate, aren't you?" But then he booked it and he came.
Beautiful.
Said, "I'll look at it."
Wow.
Beautiful. And you know what? You might have made it extend.
I don't know.
That's how it is.
I did all the work. I looked it up. I called him. I told
Doesn't
him he did
matter.
whatever, but he booked it.
Doesn't matter at all. But if it had not got extended, you wouldn't have tried any of this. That's
No, not at
how
all.
it is. That's the part which you feel that I wouldn't have influenced. Oh, it happened, surprise. Is the part you have to understand that you have done it. Got it?
Yeah, so
It's
I
very-
was like really, because they
Beautiful.
it was pre-announced from a long time that the show is going to
And
be from X date to X
The
date.
beauty, Neha, the moment you put your idea about the show, right? You said that, right? You wanted the show and
Yeah.
we wrote that, somebody calling the show, something. We didn't write there, but somebody calling you and giving you the ticket show, something you had said.
Yeah.
And last, the experiment time, one of the movies based on my father's short story was released. So they invited me for the premiere. And it was a
Wow.
fantastic show with all the actors and actresses and the directors and the fans of my father. And I just thought that this is exactly what she said, a show.
Yes.
I never expected it.
I'm
It
very
just
much
came out
into
like
all of
that.
this.
See, it's how it is. Like you would have influenced my universe. And it's like that. It's everything is influencing us. And we flow in the direction. And we happen to see, I probably, like, let's assume the premiere, they did it for me because I thought, no. If something else would have come, I wouldn't have gone for the premiere, let's say that way. But I had to go, I went there. Maybe somewhere we spoke about these shows and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of this world. It's so simple to influence others. Very simple, actually.
And all along I said that I'm not going to focus on anything except the show. You said, yeah, you do exactly that. I was not into butterflies. Anyway, in Mumbai, you don't see butterflies unless I go in the countryside or something. Very rare.
I agree. But all of it, it's put together. So now the next thing is experiment. We don't have any specific like butterfly thing, seeing it like that, but it's about how we are going to influence your environment. One example is already what Neha said, how that got influenced in me and how it's, but we need to recognize it. When you recognize it, then wow, this is powerful. And that's when your
I
power
said
actually
wow
starts
and I
flowing.
thanked and everything.
It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, we will just influence
I
each
already
other
got the
again.
wires.
Look
Yeah, I
at
was
that.
telling
But you have to
Shiraj
put
was already
something so
telling me.
that the wire easily moves. That
Yeah.
part you do it.
I've got straws also in the house, so I'm going to do it.
Awesome. Awesome.
so quick.
Yeah.
I've got a hanger.
Yeah. Hanger is slightly tough actually. That's when
I
I
know.
gave up and then I took the wire. But it's okay. You try that with the hanger itself.
I'll
Or
try.
use your pendulum.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Thank
we
you
will
so
It was
catch up
much.
next.
wonderful.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Bye. Bye.
God
Bye.
bless.
Bye.
Bye.